What the deal? Yeah, so I just witnessed what Tom Brady said about the type of quarterbacks he looked for. Let's not forget that when Shedeur Sanders fell out the first and second round, he was probably disappointed, but he wasn't too worried. You know why? Because he just knew his mentor had his back, and he was a minority owner of an NFL team. He just knew it didn't matter what the Raiders was going to call him. That helped his confidence that whole time. Now Tom Brady just came out and said what he said. We know he was talking about black quarterbacks. Let that be a lesson to you fucking coons that still watch football. We know what football thinks about us, and you can play dumb like all you want. But we know what the NFL owners think about us and how they did Colin Kaepernick. You coons can keep trying to forget it all you want and say, oh, it's just a game. Oh, my parents been watching football before I was born. No, your parents were coons before you were born also. And I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan, bro. I stopped watching football, but I was considering, I never watched college football either. I was considering, even after I stopped watching football, to start watching it again because of Deion Sanders. That's who I wanted to be like when I played football. And when he left Jackson State, and people were calling him a coon for that, I stuck up for that motherfucker. You know why? Because I felt like we all knew he wanted to coach in NFL. He did a good job. He brought the eyes back to black college football. But it was obvious the powers that be was just using him to get the people behind him, to get the eyes back on him, and to show white America again that the black man will always be positioned back in his place. Let's not pretend like Deion Sanders is not the most popular football player ever. Ever. Still to this day, his name rings bells. He's been retired for years. Many of other quarterbacks that came, other football stars that came in the league, nobody knows who the fuck they are, but they know who Deion Sanders is. And let Tom Brady let y'all understand how America works. You motherfuckers still telling your kids to treat people how they want to be treated and treat everybody fair. Well, obviously white people are not telling their kids that. But your parents have been so conditioned to be coons because they cowered down that they're still not teaching you about slavery. Why? Of racism. Why? Why? When they keep reminding us and our children that racism is a part of America like apple pie. But my last straw with Deion Sanders is when he decided to back Ryan Garcia up with all that racist shit he said. That's when I knew, like, oh, nigga, you's a coon just like everybody else. And that's why they allowed your career to blossom. Because behind closed door, you was their yes man. But guess what? That doesn't stop racism, you fucking morons. And now look what they're doing to your kids because of your popularity. Because of what you did. The everlasting memories you left in the NFL. Now your son's got to pay the price. And these white people are enjoying it, you dumbass. Just like the white people are enjoying what Trump is doing, even though it's ruining their lives. They're okay with it and acting like we're not turning to Nazi Germany because they always been like this. We know exactly what the NFL thinks of the black man, of what they did to Colin Kaepernick. You can keep telling yourself that he was a starry quarterback, that he was this and he was that. You can tell yourself whatever you want. But we know the fucking truth. And you niggas convinced yourself it was okay to go back and watch that shit. That's when I quit watching it. And I realized that our community is full of fucking coons. And it will always be like that. I don't give a fuck what you're telling yourself. If you decide to still watch football after that, you's a fucking coon. I don't care if your gang wear these colors. You could have still wear the fucking Raiders hat or whatever and still represent your gang. But you still watch football and still allow your kids to watch that shit to feel like second-class citizens. You did that, you fucking coons. And this shit has always been happening to black quarterbacks. It will never change. Because that's the last little bit of white supremacy they hold in the sport. And the only reason white people surpass baseball in the pastime, because it's obvious that the underlying racism still holds a high position in the NFL. But these cowards, these white people, they will accept racism, their racism, whatever, any way they can get it, whether it's in codes or it's out in the open. Coward shit. They've been like that. So Deion Sanders, coon ass, decided to teach his kids right, and the only problem he did was wrong with that is he told them he didn't want to explain racism to them. He wanted to act like it was no racism in NFL. And let me tell you, the only reason why you think that is because coons like Deion refuse to tell you the incidents where he experienced racism. That's it. That's it. All these black people that act like racism doesn't exist, they experience it. They're just too coward to admit it. They're too busy with the white man's nuts in their mouth. Every black person is too busy with the white man's nuts in their mouth, acting like racism doesn't exist. All of them. So Deion Sanders decided to raise his kids right, but what he fucked up is didn't teach your sons about racism. And now it's biting him in his ass. I'm pretty sure that motherfucker's crying himself to sleep. He probably contemplating suicide again. Because white Jesus is not helping him at all. And the only reasons that he's having all these health problems is because all his doctors are white and they hate him just as much as the NFL owners, you dumbass. And I don't know how many COVID shots you took. It ain't no reason why that motherfucker should be amputating his foot that many fucking times, bro. You fucking stupid. You still trust the white man when you are the epitome of racism, of why white people hate us. You dumbass. Them niggas is slowly destroying your life little by little. And you go and you accept these motherfuckers smiling in your face. We all know that's what the white man do and secretly hate us. If you don't know that, if you're not teaching your kids that, it's because you're a coon. And your wake-up call is gonna come if it haven't already. So yeah, like I've been telling you, if you support football past Colin Kaepernick, you've always been a fucking coon. You've always been a fucking coon. I don't really need to say anymore, man. But the cold part about it, when Shedeur Sanders fucking quits, get kicked out of the NFL, or disappear in the moonlight like all the other black quarterbacks, you don't think they sabotage Michael Vick? And let's not forget how these white people are. Because you always forget, don't you? Yeah, let's not forget that Tom Brady and the New England Patriots were cheaters. They've been cheaters. The nigga got caught deflating footballs. The whole Patriot organization got caught spying on other teams, learning their plays. You forgot? Yeah, you always forget because you're too busy with the white man's nuts in your mouth. But you always forget. You always forget the truth, don't you? Because it's beneficial to you and the white man's nuts in your mouth. You fucking coons.